Hello dear student, I am Sandeep Chaudhary from SU Union Junior College Pune. Dear student, in this video I am going to explain detailed analysis of poem number 3 There is Another Sky by Emily Dickinson. So in this video we would like to tell you detailed information about octave, sistate and the theme of this poem. So let's start. There is another sky. This poem has been divided into two parts. First part, that is octave, and second part is sistate. Octave has 8 lines, 2 stanzas, and sistate has 6 sentences. So student, let's see octave first, stanza number 1. There is another sky, ever serene and fair, and there is another sunshine, though it be darkness there. Student, in this poem, as this is Petrarchan sonnet written by an American poetess Emily Dickinson. This poem consists first octave, and in first stanza, poetess addresses to her brother Austin. Student, I must tell you the entire theme and the information in this poem is given. It is addressed to her brother Austin. See student, everyone having disappointment, twists and turns, happiness, joy, because this is parcel of our life. We have to face it, we have to overcome those challenges. And so once poetess Emily Dickinson's brother got disappointed, got nervous, and so he went away. And that is why Emily Dickinson want to motivate him through this poem. So poet Emily Dickinson tells her brother, there is another sky, ever serene and fair. Serene, peaceful, calm. So there is another sky. Actually, this is hyperbole statement, overstatement, because in this world we consider there is only one sky, but poetess in the first sentence itself declared there is another sky. That is overstatement. But student, meaning of this sky is completely different. She comforts, poet comfort her brother. She wanted to tell there is another sky and here is another sky. She want to distinguish between both places. Means there and here. What is the difference? There is another garden, here is another garden. So student, in first stanza, poetess says that even it is faded, gloomy, silent in the forest, there she assures him that there is evergreen forest. Never mind faded forest, Austin, never mind silent fields. Here is a little forest whose leaf is evergreen. Frost means thin layer of ice which forms on ground and other surfaces when the temperature is below 0. Student, here imaginary used by there. Symbolism, darkness, sky, garden, all those references having different meaning, student. As poetess want to tell, there is another sky and here is another sky. Means what is Austin's life? That is disappointed life, and here the life with hope, the life with pleasant things, the successful life, happiest life. And so here poetess want to distinguish Austin, there is another sky and here is another sky. So poetess use some adjectives and images like serene and fair. And there is another sunshine. Sunshine represent hope, represent happiness. Darkness represents sorrow. There is another sunshine, though it be darkness there. So though your life is full of misery, you have been disappointed many times, you got failure in your life, but Austin, don't quit, don't give up, because here is another sky. So never mind faded forest, Austin, never mind silent fields, here is a little forest whose leaf is evergreen. Student, black color, darkness represent sorrow, no hope. But green color, light represents new hope, new life, new chapter of life. And so, unfading forest, never mind faded forest. Unfading and fading. Unfading means bright, colorful, and fading means not fresh, stale. And so, in octave, Emily Dickinson here wanted to address her brother Austin and wanted to tell using sunshine, darkness, forest, green image, silent field, and here is a little forest. Here is little forest, yes. Here is a little hope. Though your life is full of misery, sorrow, but I believe, Austin, definitely if you come return back, you will get green color. Though your life is full of darkness, but here in the sky there is a fresh sunshine, and this sunshine will give you new energy, new happiness, and definitely you will get success. Student, in this octave rhyming scheme, that is AB, PB, AB, AA. Student, actually rhyming scheme is here in second stanza AB, B, A, and in first stanza, that is A, B, B, A. Now student, I would like to explain second part of this poem, that is sestet, having 6 lines. See student, here is a brighter garden where not a frost has been. In its unfading flowers I hear the bright bee hum, Prithi, my brother, into my garden come. See student, what a beautiful composition by Emily Dickinson. Here is a brighter garden. Now in second part, sestet poet describes happiest gardener. Garden, that is brighter garden, means happiness, pleasure, and was not frost has been. Student, frost means low temperature, temperature below 0 degree. Then there will be thin layer of ice form on the ground and other surfaces. And Prithvi means, now here she addressed Austin as a Prithvi. Nickname of Austin is given there. So Prithvi means Austin. I pray to you, my dear brother. See student, meaning in detail now. In second stanza, poetess describe here is a brighter garden. Means happiest garden. Though your life is full of darkness, you have lost your hope, but definitely if you return back, you will get pleasure, you will be motivated, you will get energy. In its unfading flower, unfading, colorful. Though student, in the image you can see, actually this is symbolism, images. Symbolism is used by Emily Dickinson here. Those flowers, garden, bee hum, garden represent feeling, happiness, joy. So where not a frost has been, in its unfading flowers I hear the bright bee hum, Prithi, my brother, into my garden came. So not faded, the greenery not killed by frost. Yes, sometime when there will be ice fall for some days, definitely everything will destroy, but afterwards when there will be sunshine, the ice will melt, definitely those leaves of the trees, grass will become live again, rejuvenate and come to normal condition. The flowers are bright and bee hum, hoard them, and in last poet pleads, Prithvi, I request you, my brother, please return in this bright garden and into my garden come. Into my garden means return home. Last line, that is inversion, student. Into my garden come. Actually sentence should be come in my garden, come into my garden, but poet break the order. So last sentence having inversion. Even there is alliteration, student. I hear the bright bee hum, bright and bee, so b sound is repeated. I hope, student, you understood detailed analysis of this poem, whatever I have explained in octave and state. See, vocabulary I have explained like Siren. Austin means younger brother of Emily Dickinson. Frost means low temperature. Unfading means bright color. Priti is the nickname. Even we learn some figure of speech, student. Try to recapitulate. Hyperbole means overstatement, exaggerated. Alliteration means repetition of sound, that is f and b sound has been repeated. And there are two example of inversion because proper word order not followed. Student, as I already told you that there is another sky, this is sonnet and depicts the beauty of nature. Even there is a comparison of her life, though her brother is disappointed, nervous, but she want to compare his brother's feeling with nature, and she requests him to come back. So in this detailed analysis, student, you can go through these slides and take screenshot and better note it down. I have already repeated all those ideas while explaining this poem, so better note it down. Even Emily Dickinson's styles of writing, that is random capitalization, unusual grammar, rhyming meter, use of dashes, use of metaphor, and no title can be considered as similes are there, metaphors. I'm not talking about this poem only, student. Those skills she applied in other poem also, similes, metaphor, personification, extended metaphors. So here are the features of Emily Dickinson's poetry: regular meter, then uses of dashes, often first and third line rhyme, second and fourth line rhyme in a iambic pentameter, student. And Emily Dickinson is influenced by nature and spiritual themes. She lived in isolation. Her inspirations come from religion, music, even church, nature, love, friends, so literature. Those are her inspirations, student. Actually, Emily Dickinson lived a short life, and even she published between 7 and 11 poems before her death. Saying nothing sometimes says the most. This is the quotation by Emily Dickinson. Saying nothing sometimes says the most. And one more quotation, student. If I can stop one heart from beating, I shall not live in vain. So there is one more poem, I Am Nobody by Dickinson, student. You can go through this poem, really inspirational poem. Don't declare that you have achieved success in your life. Still, you have to walk thousands of miles away. So always declare that I have not achieved anything in my life. Still, my goal, my destination is still so far. I have to go towards it and try to attain it. So the bibliography for this lesson is given here from these lessons. Links, students, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like and subscribe my video. Do watch remaining videos. Thank you, student.